Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. It is Monday, start of a new week, and really strange to say it, but unusually Juventus will play only one time, on Friday, 8:45 p.m. Italian time versus Empoli. What is important of that game of Empoli? Of course, the victory. Why? Because we have to give continuity after the win in the Derby della Mole versus Torino 1-0 with a goal of Dusan Vlahovic. Guys, in today's video we'll speak about a lot of individualities more than a team. We'll speak about the problem Bonucci, because yes, we already spoke about it. It starts to be potentially a problem. There are some rumors that him wants to leave already in January to go to Premier League, to go back to Antonio Conte, to Tottenham. What is true, what is fake? We'll speak about Pogba, because there was that beautiful interview, 2 pages in Tuttosport, thanks to the director Guido Vassiago, Federico Chiesa. Good news. We also have a really bad news. Guys, we open the pages, Italian and international ones, to see what they are saying about our beloved Juventus, and then we go in all the details. A lot of things today, a lot of gossip of course, but a lot of important things to see if Juventus can continue with the beautiful performance that we offered versus Torino, and if we can improve it with one new name, a name that we were all waiting for. It's Dusan Vlahovic. Yes, a new name, because we have a new Dusan Vlahovic. Maximum of like, subscribe to the channel. We go with Corriere dello Sport, I nuovi mostri, the new monsters. Who are they speaking about? About Napoli and Milan. That yesterday both of the teams, they won with 1 goal difference each. Napoli won 3-2 and then Milan won 2-1 versus Verona without deserving that much, but at the end the important thing is winning, and both of the teams, they won yesterday and then continue to be at the top of that Serie A. Not a lot of space for the other monster, probably the monster that deserves a bit more than Milan to be on that front page. This is Atalanta, that also them won yesterday. They're speaking about the Il Classico of yesterday, Real Madrid versus Barcelona, with Benzema scoring in that game, that victory with an incredible Valverde, and also speaking and referring to the Ballon d'Or that should be normally for Karim Benzema. If you have another idea about the Ballon d'Or, put it in the comment please. We continue with Gazzetta dello Sport, La Coda del Diavolo, the whatever of the devil. They are speaking about Milan. Not a lot of space for Napoli. Napoli da 10, Napoli 10 Napoli. Why? Because it's already the 10th victory in all competitions in a row. Then they are speaking about Inter, they are speaking about everyone, and then in little Chiesa, Federico Chiesa comeback. Looks like it's not important for Gazzetta. Wait for Federico to come back, and then we will see if you will put him in big on your front page or not. We go back to the ranking of Serie A. After speaking you about the result, because we still have to wait for 2 games. Lecce versus Fiorentina will be the last game, but then at 4:30 there will be Roma that will play versus Sampdoria. Roma that can go and do a beautiful jump in that ranking. Yesterday Milan, we already told you, Inter won 2-0 and Juventus 1-0 in the Derby della Mole versus Torino. Yes, they are speaking about Napoli. Yes, they are speaking about Milan. They are saying how great these teams are, especially Napoli. A lot of people are saying it's probably the best team of the world. I watched a lot of games of Napoli, and you know it on the channel. Napoli is not my favorite team at all. It's a team that I actually dislike a lot, but we have to say what it is. Objectively, they are playing a fantastic football. Yesterday we saw really beautiful football from the Napoli guys of Spalletti, but I think that maybe people are a bit exaggerating, because they don't use the calma. Because if we are looking at the ranking of this year, we see that Napoli is on top there with 26 points. Atalanta, that the papers are forgetting, 24. Milan 23. After the draw of Lazio and Udinese, they have both 21. So you see, beautiful ranking after 10 days, because they lost only 4 points. But if you are going back to 10 match days of last year, what do we see? That Napoli actually had more points, 28. So 2 more points than this season. Milan, they had 5 more points than this season. So both teams already had a big boost and big run in the 10 first games of Serie A last season. They are just repeating their big form. Repeating, or at least nearly repeating, because both of the teams have a bit less. What about Juventus? Well, we started as a disaster last year. We continue with a disaster this year with 1 more point than last season. Not enough. Absolutely not. Can we be happy about it? Absolutely not. I would love to be in the position of Napoli and Milan. It is what it is, but we started versus Torino, and hopefully we can catch up, because if last year there was already 13 points difference with the first in the lead, two teams, Napoli and Milan, this year it's 10. Still a lot, a mountain to climb, but probably we have to check it with a positive high. Guys, speaking about Serie A, I told you, no one gets you closer than Serie A than OneFootball. It is what it is. I already told you, and they are launching amazing initiatives on top of the app that is totally for free for iOS, for Android, where you have all the latest news of Juventus. You can also, since a few weeks, since a few months now, have your digital video moment in your pocket. How? You just create your wallet. You're telling me, what is it, Beppe? Digital video moments. Well, the best epic moments of Serie A from the past, from the present, and also they will continue so also for the future, is the official sponsor of Serie A, Juventus, Milan, for example, where you can have these moments digitally for you, for yourself. You own them. For example, the goal of Vlahovic. Imagine you have the goal of Vlahovic versus Torino. Well, that goal could potentially be the first goal of the remontada of Juventus. It will be yours, guys. Link into the description, go for it. We continue now with Juve talk, because today will be the day of the truth. Why? Because we will know a bit more about Bremer. We already have some prognosis. They are speaking about him missing the two next games, Empoli and Benfica. Some people are even saying that he could potentially miss the third game versus Lecce. So 3 games out for the player that played every single game since the beginning of the season. Pillar of our defense that finally found his best position in a 3-man defense, a total Brazilian defense. Last game versus Torino, he will be out. He will be able to rest. Hopefully it's not more serious than 3 games. Hopefully it's only 2. Let's see what about Bremer, but also the moment of truth for Federico Chiesa, that this week will play a small friendly, and if everything is okay, guys, note it down, we will see finally Federico Chiesa back after 10 months, after that big disaster injury in Roma versus Roma in January 2022. We will have him back in October, the 21st of October, on the bench versus Empoli. Attenzione, guys, you see me? I started speaking about Chiesa and I can't stop smiling. Federico Chiesa, one of the beautiful news of this week. It's not over, because Tuttosport said, you know what? Chiesa, great, fantastic. We are all happy, but we will interview the agent, the lawyer of Paul Pogba. We are speaking about Rafaela Pimenta. Exclusive interview that I will try to translate. Not everything, it's a big one, but I took the important things. The first title and on the front page of Tuttosport is Paul is out of the nightmare, and according to the rumors, we will discover it today Pogba will already train with the team. That's beautiful. If Federico Chiesa, we are expecting him to be back on the 21st versus Empoli, it could be a potential idea to have Paul Pogba already on the bench versus Benfica. Back to back, Chiesa and Pogba after Torino win. Guys, good news after good news after good news, and finally, hopefully, we can maybe see again the Juve that we were all dreaming for in the summer. He will lead Juventus, the strong words of Rafaela Pimenta. We know it, she worked always in the shadow of Mino Raiola that passed away unfortunately, but now she's on the front pages because she's the one that is putting not only the signatures on the contract, creating this contract and looking that everything is going okay, but she's also putting the face now because she's representing all these players as first person. She spoke about a lot of things. The first one is Paul Pogba is feeling better. He's coming out of that nightmare of that injury, do you remember? But also the nightmare of the familial situation with his brother and friends that were blackmailing him and so on. We know the story. It is a disaster story. She's saying that it's not the only player that happens these kind of things. A lot of players are in that situation with family, friends that are asking for some money, are treating them and so on and so on. So a big disaster here. It is what it is. He's going out of that nightmare. He's focusing only on the field and coming back. She speaks also about the fact that he's ready to take back his Juventus. And these are beautiful words, his Juventus, because Pogba has always been linked emotionally to Juventus, the first team that actually made him a known person, a famous person, from an unknown player from Manchester United becoming a star, a legend for Pogba, who he is. And this is only thanks to Juve. He knows about it. He's aware about it. When in April The first time Arrivabene and Nedved, they were in the offices in Monte Carlo, in France, in Monte Carlo, that small state of France, in the offices of Mino Raiola with Rafaela Pimenta, they were speaking, and she said, why don't you take back Paul Pogba at Juventus? And they said, yes, tomorrow, now, let's do it, let's do it. She said, let's listen what Paul Pogba will say. She called him immediately in that office and he said immediately, yes, forget about all the other offers. I want to go back in my team, in my beloved Juventus, because we know it. He's emotionally affected and now he can't wait to see the moment that he's going back. Attenzione, they also spoke about the surgery. Why didn't he go under surgery immediately? She said that he's not a doctor, she's not a doctor. They went into a lot of different advices in doctors. A lot of them said yes, it's better to go for the surgery, but a few of them said maybe healing by himself will be a better solution because he will be faster on the field, and his own and first objective was to be faster on the field. He put out all the other doctors that were saying go for the surgery because he wanted to go on his own way. He was a bit stubborn and he wanted to do it for himself. He was believing the only one that was actually the better solution. Bad solution? Yes, she said that he knows that it was the best solution. She said that she knows now that it's the best solution. We have to move on because the moment that Paul Pogba will be back on the field is close, is really close, and we are speaking, as I already said, normally around the 25th of October versus Benfica, maybe the game versus Lecce. Attenzione, she also spoke about De Ligt and Moiskin, two players that are also in the under her management. Well, Matthijs De Ligt, she said, is not always speaking bad about Juventus. She said it's a Dutch player that is always really transparent. We have to pay attention also how the questions were asked to him. A bit strange, the question that every time are asked to Matthijs De Ligt to maybe create some controversy. He's really hard on himself and he's trying to analyze what went wrong and why he was not the best defender of the world. About Moiskin, she said now he's an adult, he's not a kid anymore. What he wants is to receive some playing time. He wants to play with some continuity, but it's not a kid anymore, he's adult. These are the words that she's saying to him, also expecting him to grow also in terms of behavior. Then she spoke a little bit, and we will go to the rest of the news about Juventus. She spoke a little bit about social media, how great they can be if you want to share a message, if you want to influence some people with some quotes, with some experiences of life, but also the negative part, the dark part of social media that are influencing some players also mentally. Because she said, you don't know, but we have, for example, in our management, a girl, a woman, that is doing actually one work every day, 24/7. She's watching everything that has been said about our players on social media. She's following everything. That's her job, 24/7, reading what the people are saying about the players that are part of the management of Mino Raiola, ex-Mino Raiola. Crazy, because then she's actually underlining the one that are really important. She's communicating, and they are preventing that these kind of things are going to the family, are reported in a bad way to the players. She's examining. For example, if a coach speaks about 3 minutes in a context, 15 seconds video are posted on Twitter, she will try to look what the context was to reassure the players, saying no, the coach is not speaking bad about you, it's just the video that was cut in a moment, for example. But also the dangers of social media with some players that are doing even sometimes 10 times a day searching for their name on Twitter. What are people saying about themselves? The problem is that if you are doing that, it creates an algorithm on Twitter where every time you will see a post on Twitter, it will be linked to your name, and you will start to believe that you are the center of the attention of everyone, even if it's absolutely not true. Beautiful long interview that I wanted to highlight the big things. Then she spoke about herself and so on and so on. Really great work again by Guido Vasiago from Tuttosport, that is not going only on the surface, but is going really deep. I really appreciate what Guido is doing, since that is the director of Tuttosport. I told you that I wanted to speak about a player. I wanted to speak about a new player from Juventus. Yes, we are speaking about Dusan Vlahovic, that versus Torino showed a total different Dusan Vlahovic. Finally, not only the goal that was decisive for the win, but also the way that he played. He was the one that received the most passes, 48. So we were able to find Dusan Vlahovic 48 times in the game of Derby versus Torino. He did 33. If we go into the stats, You see the heat maps, we see where he received these passes and so on. We see that the game versus Torino was his best game. Maybe his best performance ever with Juventus, because he did 33 passes, the most of this season, with 82% of pass accuracy. 27 he succeeded. That's already totally amazing. And then you see, for example, that in terms of shots on goal, 4 times he went on target, 1 goal. Best of this season. Not only that, also the dribbles. 6 dribbles and 5 times he succeeded in his dribble. We saw a different Vlahovic. How did they do it? How they succeeded? Well, in giving him trust. For example, you remember that sub of Milik that was playing better than Vlahovic, going out and giving some trust to Vlahovic, working on his head, but also in his first control during the training, in also the free kicks and so on. A lot of work has been done on him to continue to trust him and not put him on the bench. We are speaking about Bonucci. Guys, it's one of the last ones of today's video. Bonucci, that according to some rumors, asked to leave in January, already found a team, Tottenham, of the ex-coach Antonio Conte. Well, Romeo Agresti was confirming this morning that at the moment it's only rumors. He only received denials about Bonucci wanted to leave in January, and also denials from the Tottenham side that are interested in Bonucci. But of course the problem is there. We can't deny that there is a problem, because he was not there versus Monza, really important game. He was not the starter versus Torino in the derby. That was a crucial game. So we see that in crucial games at the moment Massimiliano Allegri is not trusting him. Is it because of leadership? Is it because of technical ability? Is it because he's 35 and will go towards his 36? Is it to promote Bremer? A lot of interpretation can be given, but we can't deny the fact that Bonucci has 35 years. He is aging. He is old. He's not the old Bonucci that was playing with Barzagli and Chiellini anymore. In a 2-man defense, he has always had difficulties. In a 3-man defense, yes, but then you're sacrificing other players. He can't play game in, game out. So you will have to manage him not only on the field with the games that he's playing, but also and especially off the field, because don't forget that he received the captain band and he can't become a toxic element that is not feeling part of the project. So it will be a really difficult situation, the one of managing Bonucci. Not only him, we have to understand also with Keane, with Alexandro and other players like Cuadrado and so on, that probably at the end of the season, Rabiot, have no contract anymore. If we want to go towards a team, we have to make a pact. We have to involve all the players to come back to win that Scudetto, and then we shall see. We will see. Guys, this was it for me for the video of today. A longer one again, I was absolutely not expecting. Of course, the topic of Paul Pogba took long, but also important words about Bonucci. I'm curious what you think about Bonucci. How do you manage Bonucci? Because you can't allow and permit yourself to lose the center defender from Viterbo, from Italy. You can't, because behind him you have Rugani. You have a Gatti that played only 2 games and that we don't know what are the performance levels of Gatti in Serie A. So pay attention. I want some mature feedback how to not lose Bonucci, also not playing him as a starter. Comment. Let's go. Grazie, forza, Juve.